tuning in. This is Andrew Funderburg with Fundy Software to show you the brand new design library that's coming out in March of 2018 with awesome portrait album designs, card designs, royalty-free music for your slideshows, royalty-free stock rooms for your IPS presentations, and pre-built wall collages that have been tested to sell. So let's go ahead and dive in. I have a high school senior album here from Sean Lee, and let's go to the design. So you'll notice before where you had album layouts, signing books, my designs where you could pin your design, you're gonna have design sets. And so here I have loaded up some baby designs. So obviously this is not a baby, high school senior, family album designs, grad designs, albums, etc. And this is where you will find all of those great designs we've been talking about. We're gonna have pre-built matted album designs. We're gonna have designs from the Chrismans and the Mans, and then some beautiful portrait album designs. So how do you see the design library? So let's go down here. We have Download Pro Designs, a download button. We're also going to be adding some download buttons up here, so it's really easy to find how to access this. So I'm going to click the download button, and then you'll notice that it's loading in our design library. So here you have baby album designs, Chrisman Studios. So these are all fed from our Amazon server in the cloud down, and you choose which ones you want to install on your computer. So I can see this one's already installed. Here's one I haven't installed yet. Family album design installed. So for example, this baby one, if I click choose, it's gonna go ahead and pull all of those design assets off of the web and then down into Fundy Designer there for you to use. So now let's take a look at the card design sets. So here we have all of these card designs. And so you'll see here also that just like album designs, we can sort. So I want to see the baby cards. I want to see the grad cards. I want to see just the holiday cards. I want to see just the save the date cards. So here's all the save the date cards. So super easy to sort, go through. We did a webinar on Card Designer, but I'm going to go ahead and show you that also. Let's kind of dive in and take a look at the pieces here that we're able to use. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of here. And I'm going to clear this album. And then I'm going to filter down to, let's go ahead and filter down to, say, a family album, right? So I have a bunch of different images in here just for this webinar. And some people don't know this, but you can use stars, hearts, or even Lightroom keywording to sort your photos. So I've sorted down to just these family photos here from Tracy Sweeney of Elan Studios. And let's go into the auto design. And so what's really cool is I'm going to auto design with just the filtered photos. You know, let's set 3:2 accent images, number of pages, number of photos, and then I'm going to go down to a family design. So let's go ahead and load up this family design, and I'm going to click design. And it's going to go ahead and use all of those designs. So check this out. So we have this beautiful reach for the stars. I'm going to turn that off here, and you are in total control, right? So this is just a PNG. You can move it around. We can change the color of that PNG. Let me make it a really ugly color so you can see it. Whoa, that's pretty aggressive. And then the opacity can change also of that PNG, right? So you're in total control. And you'll also notice that in your brand new PNG well is that all of the, how do I want to say this? All of the design sets that I've downloaded into this particular project, those pieces are also downloaded. So I can go through here, and so here are the ones that were included with this set. So I can say, you know what, that's great, but I really like this PNG better for this page. And then obviously I can change that color, do the color overlay, etc. We can make them bigger or smaller. And then just like any album design in Fundy Designer, we can make it bigger or smaller. So maybe I want to take this over here. I'm going to move that photo over here. So what's great about design sets in Fundy Designer is that they're not template based. So that's why we're not calling them templates. They are drop zone based, which means it's total free design. So you can do whatever you want. And you're in total control, obviously. And some of these assets, you need to have Pro Enhancements enabled. And if you do have Pro Enhancements, the subscription to Pro Enhancements where you get the full design library, you can use any of our assets to resave out your own designs and reuse them. So now I did a custom design, right? So super easy to do all of this stuff. Okay, so really, really cool, right? So we can use the auto design, and then we can also just go into the layouts, and let's pull up the family design layout that we're working on. And here we have all of these. So I'm like, oh, you know what? Actually, I like that better. And then I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this photo, move it over so I can get that without overlaying any of the kids on it. I'm also going to go ahead and change that to fill, move this over, and let's stretch this out a little bit, play around with the spacing a little bit. So pretty cool to be able to do a complete design like this. Now, one thing you'll notice on the webinar, I'll probably hop into the chat here a little bit, is that you're seeing some repeating of PNGs. We're still in the pre-beta phase of this, so in the final version, we'll make sure when you apply auto design that it doesn't repeat any of those PNG assets, so you don't get, you know, basically a dumb album design. So we're going to use our intelligent patent pending auto design mix to shuffle these PNG assets along with your clean and classic designs to do that. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to filter down to just some baby. Oops, let me get my photos over here. Let's see. There we go. So some baby designs. So let's go ahead and do some baby design stuff, because that has, some of those designs have color blocks, and that's a new addition for Fundy Designer, the ability to use color blocks in all of your designs. So that's going to be really cool. Let's see, let's try this one. I think that one had some color block, but we will find out. Yes. View, toggle warnings. Okay, and let's turn those guides off. All right, so you see here we have some color blocks. So this is a PNG. This is text, and if you're one of those people that has been frustrated by our text editor, you're going to love this. Check it out. In the text editor, you can actually go through and you can favorite your favorite text. So, for example, here's a new text that I purchased off of Creative Market. I love it, so I'm going to heart that. So now that will permanently stay at the top of my font list. So I can go in there, change up that font anytime. You can save, you know, your favorite fonts so they're always at the top, and then you'll also notice that I showed off the new search bar for fonts. So should be a lot of people that love that new addition to the fonts. With the addition of Card Designer, are really committed to getting our font editor to be on par with what you experience in all of your Adobe products. So that will continue to be awesome and get better and better. And you'll also notice this has been the bane of our existence since our new font editor came, is Zapfino. People couldn't use Zapfino, but guess what, everybody? Zapfino is back. So all you Zapfino lovers, it's back. We got it back. So it took a lot of work under the hood, but you're gonna love that. So before we jump into Card Designer, I'm gonna go ahead and pop open some of the Q&A or the chat. So if you have any questions, If you are attending on Facebook, go ahead and put your questions in there, and Allie or Jack will be answering those, and then they'll also pop in through the magic door over here with any questions that they actually want me to show off on how to do something. I'm going to pop into the questions here on the webinar. If you would like to be actually part of the webinar instead of the Facebook Live, just check your email. We sent out the link, and you can grab that link off of our newsletter that we sent out this morning. But let's go ahead and bring this up here. Let me get these questions up here. So let's go ahead and open the chat, answer some of the questions. All right, so everybody looks all good. Everything's great. So some people asked about the update. So every couple of years we push out an update, and some of those requires a paid update, and that's what helps us pay our developers keep the business up and running. So if you are on version 7 and you haven't updated yet, we've got a special deal for you. It's just $75 to update your suite. When you update that suite, you're going to get Card Designer. You're going to get some new functionality within Album Builder about being able to save out your album sets. So some really cool stuff. So that's just $75 if you want to update now. For the full design library, that's part of Pro Enhancements. So Pro Enhancements gives you unlimited online design proofing, unlimited access to the design library, which I just showed you, which has, I don't know, thousands of dollars worth of assets and et cetera. And then more songs, more stock rooms, and more wall art collections. And that library is just going to grow with you. We already have some awesome stuff coming, even planned out for next year. So that's kind of the pricing breakdown. And so here, yes, so great question by Jessica. I want to show you that. So is there a way to save out your own design sets? So yes, so this PNG image wall, you can bring in your own PNGs, you can design anything you want. You can start with our designs and edit them, and then you will notice here under the export menu, you see export as design set right there. So you can export that as a design set. You can share it with your friends. If you're a designer, you can sell those designs. And then most likely at launch, we'll actually have a save as design set option, and that'll automatically just save into your design sets drop down. So really cool, really powerful. So any last questions before we jump into Card Designer and show off all of the cool stuff with Card Designer? All right, so now let's go ahead, and I am going to open up a card, and we'll let that get open. So Card Designer is super simple. Right here we have a drop down of all your favorite sizes, and then it will also save out your most recent sizes, right? We've got horizontal, horizontal folded, vertical folded. So let's design a 5x7 vertical. I'm going to save that. And then, right, we go into the layouts. A bunch of pre-designed cards are included. Thank you, senior, hello, little one, etc. And then just like albums, we can go into our card designs and then download any of the other ones. So that one's installed. Let me go ahead and filter down to holiday. Let's go ahead and install some of the holiday ones. So I'm going to choose that one and then close that down. I'm going to filter by holiday. And so here's the holiday cheer one that I just designed. So holiday cheer, here is the Smith family. Open up, this is the inside. So if we want to design on the inside or add text, we can do that, add a color block. So all of the things that you see on the front or the back of the cards, we can design those things. I'm just gonna do some really ugly examples here. So there's a color block, here's a drop zone with photos. So we really can do, whatever you want in here on the inside. And then the back side, we have a spot for you to put in your studio logo, website, phone number information. So you can put that in there, or you can delete that if you'd like, and have a blank on the back, however you want to do that. You know, or maybe you want to bring the your studio logo up here, drop it in. You can drop in more PNGs. You can really design whatever you want, just like you would design in InDesign or Photoshop. And then when you're done, you can click Order Direct, and we'll have direct ordering out to millers with their quick turnaround, or you can click Export for Print, and you can print for anywhere in the world. Now, if you're attending from outside the US and Europe, we will also have sizes, you know, your basic A6 sizes, etc., that you guys are used to in the UK and Europe. Those will be pre-loaded in there, and we're hoping to get a direct card lab up and running either on the continent or UK that can ship in that entire region. And then even possibly getting a worldwide shipper, so our friends in Canada can get direct shipping, all of that stuff. So some really cool stuff there. So let's go ahead and check the chat. Looks like some chatting. So one of the questions says, when I update my software, do my designs remain? Yes, of course. So all of your projects are stored in your project files. Those are not stored in the desktop. There's actually separate files. So any updating or upgrading you do with your Fundy Designer, when you open that new project, it's going to update to all of the new features and enable those new features without losing anything that you've already designed. So we've been pushing out updates for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now with the desktop, and so that's a pretty easy thing to make sure that we do for you guys so you don't lose any designs. So let's go ahead and do some designs. So let's jump back here in this album. And so we've done beautiful baby designs, so that took a couple seconds. You know, and remember that you're able to jump in, change any colors of any of the assets if you want to. Super easy. So here's a baby design, so let's go ahead and clear that. And then let's let's go into our images, and let's do some, let's do a save the date design, or an engagement design. So I'm gonna go here, we have 49 pages, 49 images, let's do 24 pages. Let's bring this down a little bit, maybe 30. Let's do 30 images and 20 pages. Let's go ahead and choose that wedding design. I'm gonna hit design. Let it do its calculations here. So one of the other things that we're really excited about is this is really a time where we're diving in on speed. So you're going to see a big increase, especially on Windows, of the speed that your program runs. It's been a bit of a process getting speed up and running as fast as we used to run when we're upsizing to 4K and 5K monitors. So you'll see a big bump in speed. So let's check this out. So super clean design. We see some repetition, and again, if you had just joined this webinar, when we're doing the auto design, we're going to intelligently do this. So we're pre-beta right now. Once that beta is out, we're going to make sure that we don't double up on any design that has a PNG or anything like that. So that's going to be pretty easy for us to implement. And remember, the designs are yours, right? Super, super easy to alter. You're still in total control. So able to, change the color of anything, move it around, resize it, etc., and make these your own. And you'll also see something that's really cool with the auto design even for people that love just the clean classic designs. You'll notice a minimum and max images. I know that Ben Chrisman and then also Jason Marino were really asking for that feature. So that's going to be great. So you can do the auto design. You can say, oh, I want a minimum of 1 photo per page, maximum of 2 or 3 photos per page, whatever that parameter is, and it's going to apply that with the auto design. That'll be really cool. So there's an example of engagement. Let's go ahead and do something really cool. Let's see, what do I have in here for design sets? So I'm going to click download and go into the design sets, and let's click wedding to filter those. And a couple that we have up and coming is a Chrisman Studio album design. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that Chrisman Studio album design. So this is an album. Whoa, it's like I got some, whoa, there we go, we blow it up. Again, pre-beta, so I was able to blow it up, so congratulations on me. So let's go ahead and restart that pre-beta. So talking about betas is one thing that's going to be really awesome is that if you're part of the Fundy Storyteller group, and let's go ahead and pull that up. So if you go to Facebook, and we're probably going to see me streaming, so it's going to be kind of a weird inception thing going right there. So Storyteller Official Fundy Designer Group. If you're part of this group, sometime in the first half of February, you're going to have access to a beta of this, a public beta. It's going to run just like your current version does. You're going to be able to order cards direct. You're going to be able to play with all of the stuff before anybody else. And the reason we want to get that out to you is A, Storyteller Group, you guys are the core to our business. You're the ones in there every day talking about your successes, talking about those album sales, talking about how fast it was to design your album, how easy it was to design your wall art, show them to your clients and sell those. So we're going to give this to you first. And also it allows us to have you guys go and find any bugs that we miss. So, you know, we do our best, but obviously bugs slip through the cracks. So you help us find those and get those fixed as fast as possible. So that's going to be really awesome. So let's go ahead, and I am going to filter down to this set again, and under auto design, let's go ahead and pull up that Chrisman Studios, and I'm going to do 3 to all images because that's what the Chrismans love, and then let's filter down to just those wedding images. So I have 49 images, so let's go ahead and put 40. So that's going to give us an average of 2.5 photos per spread, which is kind of what I like in there. And then let's hit design. And so this is really cool. So if you are just starting albums and you don't know what you want to offer or how you want to design, we've got some pre-built designs from the Chrismans and the Mans, award-winning photographers, and they have provided a couple real albums that they've designed and their clients have purchased for you guys to start with as a base. Right? And then we'll go ahead and mix that one up. And then you'll see that this is a horizontal album, but as denoted in the design set, it's made for a horizontal album. So this example might not be perfect to what they've specified because it was designed for a horizontal album. So as you see those design sets that are specific to photographers, you'll see SQ for square, HZ for horizontal, or VT or VR for vertical. So as you see those, you'll know what they were made for, so then you can design the best ones for you. And again, if you've designed the perfect album, even if it's an old project, with this new version of Fundy Designer, you're going to be able to, under the export that as a design set, and then import that as a design set or save it. And it's going to give you so much more flexibility and control over how you want to design. So I'm going to show a couple more designs here, but if Ali or Jack want to poke their head in, see if I've missed anything to cover from this webinar, just let me know, and I'll be happy to go over that for you guys. So it looks like we're good. So I'm going to go ahead and design a couple more cards here. So let's go ahead and click the Layouts button, and I'm going to bring this up here. So let's go ahead and do the save the date here. And right, super easy to drop that in. I've designed a 5x7 card. Let's go ahead and change that from a vertical to a horizontal card. And just like albums, you can change everything, right? You change the size or whatever. Our patent just adapts the photos and the design for you. So here we go. We can change that color if we want. And then obviously we can go in and swap out our logo, put in our address. Let's go ahead and, you can put in your website, your phone number, your address. Maybe you want to move the logo up here. And remember, I'm going to hold the Option key down to keep that centered. And, maybe we want this to be a little bit bigger, right? So the text tool, we can increase the size here to whatever you want. So you're, again, in total control. And if you love that, you can save that card design and then reuse it again and again. All right, before we leave, I'd like to just end with opening up that our new design library and show you all what's in it and the value there. So I'm going to click Layouts again, go to download the Pro Designs, and we're just loading our album designs in now. We have just a few designs in here, grad, baby, family designs. You're going to find even more of them in there. Let's go to the card designs. I think there's over 120 different cards. So if you've ever been even on one of those inexpensive places like Creative Market, it's still going to cost you $12, $15 for a card design. Over 120 there. So 120 times 150. You guys can do the math. So just that is $170. Sorry about that. So you might have seen some flickering. So again, here's the album designs. We have just a few of them loaded now. We have a lot more coming that'll be loaded before you get that public beta. Here's all the card designs. We have over 120 different card designs in there. You can filter down to just the baby, for example, just the grad, just the holiday cards, just the save the date, just the thank you cards. And this is a library that we feed from the cloud down to the desktop. So we're going to keep making new designs for you. Got a lot of cool stuff coming up. We're going to push out a few more holiday designs in the fall for you. And then we have added music library. So we have another $1,000, $2,000 worth of songs there. And we'll be including wall collections. We'll have some wall collections that have been proven to sell. We'll have some wall collections that you might be used to using from your lab, so it's easier to design those. And then we'll have some stock rooms, those stock preview rooms. We've got a Cape Cod scene, and then kind of I don't want to say a desert, but kind of more of an open air, lighter feel theme on some of those rooms. So you'll see those coming. So that's the design library, and it's integrated with the full suite. I think it's awesome. So if you want to learn more about Pro Enhancements or the design library, so when you go to Fundy Designer and you click on the suite, and over here, Pro Enhancements includes your unlimited online design proofing with our new email reminders. So you can proof unlimited albums and send out email reminders. Here's the information on the new design library. And if you click card designs, album designs, wall art, stock rooms, royalty-free music, you're going to see some samples. So for example, stock rooms, here you can see some of the beautiful new stock rooms that are coming to Fundy Designer. So I think you're going to love those. And then, let me go back to the suite here. And then in addition to that, Pro Enhancements includes your retouching, right? Your one-click skin retouching for perfectly clear, and the ability to export HD slideshows. So any slideshow that you build in Fundy Designer, and now you'll be able to include cards in that slideshows. So slideshows can include albums, wall art, cards, and photos all in one slideshow. You can also export those as HD slideshows if you want. So thank you guys so much. Can't wait to give you the next webinar when we push out some more updates to this pre-beta. And then if you are not part of the Storyteller group, head on over to Facebook and do a search in Facebook. Do a search for Storyteller, and then Official Fundy Designer Group. Click there and then click join, and then you'll get in there and you'll see all sorts of awesomeness. You'll see how people are upselling albums, how people are selling cards, how people are selling wall art, all of this stuff. And so remember, the first half of February, we'll have a beta out to you that will be released in that Storyteller group. And then also in March, you'll get this update to come out. If you want to use Card Designer and you want to use design sets in Album Builder, you will need to upgrade to the new suite if you're on V7. If you don't know, it's very simple. Just click Store and click Buy on anything and log in, and it's going to tell you your upgrade options. Or maybe you've already upgraded last year when we pushed out some emails about it and you forgot. So that will tell you here's everything that's included in Pro Enhancements. When you purchase, if you're new to Fundy Designer, you get 3 months free with this, and then it's just $179 a year for all of this unlimited stuff. From other companies, usually $179 a year will only get you maybe the design library or only maybe design proofing. So for $179 a year, you get all of these services, which is a great deal, and we're confident that these services will make you more money, right? So some people are selling those slideshow exports for $100 each, sell a couple slideshows, and that pays for your Pro Enhancements for the entire year. So again, thank you. If you have any questions, keep commenting on Facebook and we'll keep answering those. And we are super excited about this update coming. You'll notice that we've updated our website with some of these new graphics with cards and etc. And we can't wait. One of the webinars will be coming up is IPS setup. We've added a lot of pricing and calculation tools into Fundy Designer to help you sell things a lot easier with your clients. So that's really cool. So those are all coming up. Again, any questions, feel free to ask. If you have any questions about your upgrading or anything, just go to the website, click support, submit a ticket, and they're happy to answer those questions for you.